The wind never spoke in that valley. It only watched. Hidden behind the tangled trees and the hills that time forgot, a child arrived not in light but in shadow. His name was Larry Whittaker, and what he carried was older than memory, deeper than silence. This was no ordinary beginning. It was not joy, not sorrow, but something twisted like the roots of the forest that surrounded him. He did not cry for attention. He was born into a place where noise was not needed. The family he entered had already sunk into the soil generation after generation, folding into itself. They did not stretch outward. They turned inward. The Whittakers did not chase dreams. They inherited silence. In that distant corner of West Virginia, surrounded by distance and guarded by stillness, Larry opened his eyes to a world where cousins married cousins, where bloodlines doubled back like a river without a mouth. The house was barely standing. It had no warmth. There were no walls of protection, no comfort, only cold air and dirt floors. The ceilings wept during storms, and the smell of damp wood never faded. Larry was not alone. He was one of 15, many without voices, others without understanding. Some stared through walls. One barked when afraid. A sister giggled when hurt. No doctors came, no teachers knocked, no one wondered why. They survived by knowing that outsiders brought more danger than help. Larry was different, not chosen, but shaped. He could form words. He could look into eyes. He understood things others could not name. That ability was not a gift. It was a burden. When someone came close, Larry stood between, not with anger, but with quiet, steady presence. Long before he became a name on the internet, he was already a wall holding back confusion. His family never asked him to explain, but he became their voice anyway. He grew up learning nothing from books, but everything from patterns. The way his father moved slower each year, the way his sister took charge without words. Larry learned that help did not come from pity. It came from showing up when no one else would. The story of Larry was never his alone. It started with two brothers, twins Henry and John, whose choices became chains. Their children became couples. Their grandchildren repeated the same cycle. First cousins became partners. Then double cousins married. DNA did not drift. It circled. By the time Larry's parents entered the world, the branches had bent inward so many times that there were no lines left, only loops. His mother, Gracie, was born from one half of that mirror. His father, John Emery, from the other. When they joined, they brought both halves back together. That kind of union does not carry one risk. It carries dozens. What science explains. In numbers, their lives showed in scars. Most people have a small chance of passing hidden illnesses to their children. In the Whittakers' world, that chance became certainty. Many of Larry's siblings could not speak, think, or understand. Some never reached their second birthday, but Larry lived, not just with breath, but with awareness. That made him different, that made him responsible. He never chose that role. It chose him. The land where Larry was raised did not offer escape. Odd, West Virginia, was not a town. It was an accident of naming, a place left off most maps, and even forgotten by those nearby. The house was not a home. It was a collection of broken boards and rotting furniture, bags of garbage piled in corners, mold in every breath. There were no lullabies, only coughing in the night. Sickness did not need a name to hurt. No school bus came. No chalkboard taught them how to spell. What Larry learned, he learned by watching. His mother rationed food like it was air. His father stared at empty chairs. His sister Betty, fierce and strong, kept her word to their mother to never leave. Larry watched. He listened. He stepped forward only when someone had to. He found ways to haul water, to fix a heater, to calm a brother who screamed without warning. There was no guide. There was no applause. Yet Larry stayed. He could have walked away. Some distant cousins did. They married into other families. They left the hills and took different names. Larry did not. He lived in a trailer beside the same collapsing house, near siblings who still waited for something they could not name. Ray, who only made sounds. Lorraine, who wandered without reason. Timmy, trapped in a mind that never aged. Betty, the elder sister, never wavered. Together, they were a family. Not normal, not safe, but together. Larry became their backbone. When the lights died, he found a way to bring them back. When someone fell, he lifted. When outsiders came, with cameras or questions, he stepped in. His clothes were never clean. His face carried the weight of decades. But behind the worn hands was someone who carried a mountain no one else could see. He had a daughter once. Her name was BJ. She lived her own struggle. But when someone hurt her, Larry did not use the law. He used presence. He became a wall. Once more, this time not just for his siblings, but for a child who had known fear. In a house where words were rare, Larry became the voice. In a family shaped by silence, he became the sound. The world outside learned their name through a lens. In 2004, a single photograph taken for a book called Created Equal brought a whisper of attention. But it was not until 2020 that the world stared fully. A man named Mark arrived, camera in hand, and filmed what others would have walked past. His video showed Ray grunting, Betty watching, and Larry, calm, barely speaking, yet anchoring the storm. That video went viral. Millions watched. Some cried, some laughed. Some sent money. Over $100,000 arrived in digital form. Some of it bought supplies. Some vanished. No one knew where. When asked, Betty only said she did not know. Accusations followed. Was it real? Was it right? Was it fair to film people who could not give consent in the way others could? Mark defended his work. He said it was exposure, not exploitation. He paid taxes. He showed receipts. But doubt lingered. When you share pain with the world, whose story is it really? Still, through all of that, Larry remained. He did not post. He did not explain. He hauled groceries. He kept the door open. He kept the fire burning through snowstorms. But then came a disaster no one expected. Late in 2024, the trailer burned. Flames consumed everything. Beds, chairs, clothing gone in minutes. Smoke rose over the hills, and with it, the last safety they had. Then came a lie. BJ, his daughter, told the world her father had died. She sighed. Larry was gone. Grief poured in, so did money. But Larry was still alive. He appeared again, silent and tired, very much breathing. The lie broke trust. Some turned away. Mark shut down the donations. Sympathy became suspicion. The story that once pulled hearts now pulled questions. Still, Larry did not leave. He stayed in the ruins, alongside those who had no one else. The man who never asked to be seen became invisible again. The trailer is broken. The help has slowed. The world has moved on. There are no foundations for the future. No government plan, no new home. Just Larry, older now, still walking the same dirt, still lifting what others drop. His family is not cursed. They are not monsters. They are echoes. They are the weight of choices made long ago, in love that stayed too close, in isolation that became identity, in names passed down until meaning disappeared. And in the middle of it all, Larry stood not with glory, not with shame, but with presence, not asking for praise, not begging for help, just there, holding together a story no one else could carry.